Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation, our series on Beyond the Needle. Today, we're going to talk about other ways that you can be part of the cosmetic industry, specifically what it takes to become a cosmetic chemist, starting off as a nurse practitioner. Last time, we've already talked about becoming a cosmetic nurse practitioner. This is that hands-on provider. And today, we're going to tell you how you can explore this role that most nurses don't even know exists. And here's what I want you to understand right from the start. You don't need to be a chemist to be a cosmetic chemist. Your nursing background, your clinical knowledge of skin, your understanding of patient needs, your evidence-based training, these are assets in this field. Some of the most successful cosmetic chemists are nurses. Monique Rodriguez, who we've covered before on here, she's the founder of Mielle Organics. She's a nurse who built a $100 million brand from her kitchen. She didn't have a chemistry degree when she started. She had a problem she wanted to solve and the determination to figure it out. Remember, you are problem solvers first and foremost. Today, I'm going to show you how you can transition from bedside to brand. We're talking about formulation, product development, and building the next Mielle or Fenty beauty. If you've ever looked at a skincare product and thought, I could make something better than this episode is for you. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Kimberly Madison, a doctorally prepared nurse practitioner and the founder of the Alliance of Cosmetic Nurse Practitioners, which is a professional membership for nurse practitioners who specialize in cosmetics and entrepreneurship, who want to build something on the side or start their own empire. We provide ongoing mentorship and coaching and pick up wherever your weekend, on-demand, or academic program left off, because we know that your first question is never your last question. The entrepreneurship is lonely. You're going through imposter syndrome, decision fatigue, burnout, and feeling overwhelmed. We know that when you go to nursing school, they don't cover skin of color. When you go to a dermatology event, they don't cover entrepreneurship. And when you go to cosmetics, they don't cover advanced nursing practice. And every day you're showing up as all three. So the Alliance was founded on that. And at the heartbeat, we help you with sales, because what good are those 10,000 followers if you don't have $10,000 to back it up? So before we jump into our topic, we're going to do our devotional, which we do every week. Speaking of every week, we drop new episodes every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and LinkedIn. We just changed our time, and so I'm still learning because we changed it here and on the Melanin Initiative. And so this is a wonderful time to subscribe, give a thumbs up, leave a comment. Every time you interact with our algorithm, with our platform, it shows the algorithm this information is important. So that when other aspiring entrepreneurs like you look for topics like this, will show up higher in the search results. In addition to YouTube, we have the Mahogany Dermatology blog where we drop articles for you every single week. If you want to get those articles directly in your inbox, you can join our email notification list. And of course, we'd love to have you over at the Alliance. The link is in the description box. At the time that you're watching this, let's see. I think you've already missed. We just had a workshop in December. Let's see. I think you already missed it, but you can still join the wait list, and this way you'll receive an exclusive invitation next time the doors open. So let's do our prayer. God, I will give thanks to you out loud. I will tell of all the wonderful things you have done. No matter what I endure, I know that I can rely on you. You fight for me even when I can barely fight for myself. You are always with me and you comfort me. Thank you. Amen. Okay, so this Beyond the Needle series, we started on the Mahogany Dermatology blog, where we talk to you about the different pathways of being a cosmetic nurse practitioner, cosmetic chemist, chemical engineer, and biomedical engineer. And so if you want the printed form and you want to see everything broken down, you can certainly go over there and you can get that too. So 5 things we're going to cover today. What a cosmetic chemist actually does, the origin story by talking about Madam C.J. Walker and Mielle, the market reality, $580 billion industry, your path options, and what you need to get started. So what is a cosmetic chemist? So a cosmetic chemist is a scientist, an innovator, and yes, a healer. They work behind the scenes. This role blends chemistry, biology, and artistry to formulate products that make the entire beauty industry possible. We're talking about your favorite serums and moisturizers, sunscreen, specialized hair care, makeup that actually nourishes the skin, and clinical grade skincare. I know that's a well, clinical. I don't think that's as controversial as medical grade, but you can let me know in the comments. And then the responsibilities. As a cosmetic chemist, you select the ingredients, you ensure product stability, test for safety, optimize texture and feel, navigate regulations, bring formula from idea to reality. But here's what makes this role particularly important for our community. A cosmetic chemist with deep understanding of diverse skin tones and hair textures is uniquely positioned to address clinical needs that mainstream tends to ignore. Think about it. Most sunscreens have a white cast on darker skin, although we are starting to see a change. It's still a lot of room for improvement. Most hair care products aren't formulated for the porosity and texture of ethnic hair. Most skincare lines don't address hyperpigmentation effectively, and most makeup doesn't account for the undertones in melanin-rich skin. This isn't just a market gap, this is a clinical gap. And you, as a nurse who understands dermatology, patient needs, and evidence-based practice, are positioned to fill this gap. So pioneers like Madam C.J. Walker and modern innovators like Monique Rodriguez and Rihanna, founder of Fenty Beauty, have shown us that when you understand a community's needs and combine with great formulation, you just don't build a great product. You build an empire. Content creators like Dr. Michelle Wong, also known as Lab Muffin Beauty Science, also a content creator with lots of followers and an author, have also made cosmetic chemistry accessible to everyday consumers. So before we talk about where the field is going, let's talk about where we came from. So because the history of the cosmetic chemistry, especially Black women, is a story of resilience. So let's talk about Madam C.J. Walker, the original founder. She was born in 1867, and she was more than just a businesswoman. She was a chemist, an innovator, and a visionary. At a time when there was no viable hair care options for Black women, she developed a line of products specifically designed for Black hair. She didn't just create products, she built a distribution system, training program for sales agents, and a model of entrepreneurship that empowered thousands of Black women to build financial freedom. Sound familiar? Her story reminds us of two critical truths. Number one, your personal experiences are often the most fertile ground for innovation. She wasn't trying to create products for everyone. She was solving her problem. And in doing so, she solved the problem of millions of women. A deep-seated mission is the best foundation for a thriving business. She wasn't motivated by profit alone. She was motivated by empowerment, by service, and by the belief that Black women deserve better. Fast forward to today, we have Mielle Organics. Monique, a nurse who founded Mielle in 2014, she started in her kitchen like so many people have, formulating products for her own hair. By 2023, her company was valued at $100 million and was acquired by Procter & Gamble, or P&G. She didn't have a chemistry degree. She had clinical knowledge, because she's a nurse, a problem she wanted to solve: healthy hair care for Black women, determination to figure out formulation, and a mission-driven brand. And at the time of this recording, they just announced that Mielle, has become the official hair care brand for the NBA. I talked to you recently about Emma Green. She's the billionaire brains behind Skims and Good American. They also just garnered a contract with the NBA. You think they might be friends? So this is the blueprint. You don't need to be a traditional chemist. You need to understand your community's needs better than anyone else's. And you need to be willing to learn the science. Cosmetic chemistry has evolved from simple botanical remedies to a highly regulated, science-driven field. But here's what hasn't changed. Consumers want products that are effective, that means backed by science, clean, these are safe ingredients, transparent labeling, sustainable, ethically sourced, environmentally conscious, and inclusive, formulated for all skin tones and hair textures. This evolution creates a massive opportunity for nurses who understand evidence-based practice, who can read research, who can translate clinical needs into product formulation. So let's talk about numbers. Numbers don't lie, and market dynamics. So the global beauty market. The beauty industry is projected to reach $580 billion by next year, 2027. That's not a typo. $580 billion. Non-invasive products, skincare, hair care, makeup dominate this growth. Consumers want results without surgery, without harsh chemicals, and without compromising their values. Now, the Black-owned beauty sector. Here's where it gets interesting. Black consumers represent a significant spending power in the industry, $1 trillion, by the way. I've reported on this throughout the year. But we've been historically underserved. This has created a vibrant ecosystem of Black-owned brands that are now disrupting the entire market. Mielle, $100 million valuation. Fenty Beauty, she literally just landed on the list for owning $2 billion businesses. Congratulations to Rihanna. Pattern Beauty, founded by Tracy Ellis Ross. And then Honey Pot by Patrice Dixon, who's the founder of feminine care products. These aren't just businesses, they're movements. Now, the bottlenecks. So, Black-owned brands face very unique challenges. Number one, access to capital, money. Most Black founders are self-funded or rely on small loans. Venture capital funding for Black women founders is less than 1%. That's not a level playing field. Bottleneck number two, limited distribution channels. Getting shelf space on Sephora, Ulta, and Target is hard. Legacy brands have established relationships. New brands have to fight for visibility. And, Target gets a lot of attention, but Walmart actually has also invested quite a lot in Black-owned brands. When I attended the Jazz Festival in Detroit, they had a whole, booth, if you will, and they were showcasing Black beauty brands, which was a good list. Speaking of Detroit, what up, though? DMPs of Color annual conference for 2026 will be in Detroit. You can go over there and click and see if registration is open. I love Detroit. I can't wait to go there. So, number three, innovation appropriation. This is big, okay? So mainstream brands like to borrow concepts powered by Black entrepreneurs without giving them credit. Some people would call that stealing. Remember, when everyone suddenly started caring about clean beauty, Black-owned brands were doing that for years before it became trendy. And I'm going to stay focused. So bottleneck number four, lack of inclusive testing. Most clinical trials for skincare and hair care don't include diverse skin tones or hair texture. So products are formulated and tested on lighter skin than marketed to everyone else. This creates opportunity for you as a nurse chemist. You can advocate for inclusive testing, design products specifically for melanin-rich skin, and build trust by addressing real clinical needs. AI is changing the game. So this is where it gets really exciting. We have artificial intelligence, which is providing that level playing field. It is the greatest equalizer of our time. So how Black brands are using AI. Ingredient sourcing. AI optimizes supply chains, finding better ingredients at lower prices. Formulation optimization. AI can help us predict how ingredients will interact, reducing that whole trial and error that we're really known for. Consumer insights. AI analyzes reviews, social media, product data to understand what the consumer really wants, obsessing over the consumer. We're going to do that in a video where we analyze Charlotte Tilbury's philosophy when it comes to business. And one thing she did was obsess over her customer. And then personalization. You're going to hear about that over and over and over. Personalized medicine. AI creates custom formulations for individual skin tones, hair types, and concerns. Just think about it. A brand can use AI to analyze thousands of reviews and identify that customers with darker skin tones struggle with hyperpigmentation. Then use AI to formulate a product targeting that very specific concern. So the threat here is that AI is also the threat, because if you don't leverage it strategically, large corporations can use it to innovate faster, potentially outpacing smaller brands. But just remember, big brands cannot move as quickly as the little brand. And AI-generated content means more noise in the market, making it harder for authentic brands to really stand out, but not impossible. The bottom line here is that a $580 billion market with massive opportunity for nurse chemists who understand clinical needs, formulation science, and strategic use of AI. Massive opportunity. If you haven't already, this is your chance. You can subscribe, leave a thumbs up, give us a comment though. What questions have come up for you? What concerns when you hear cosmetic chemistry? either make you want to lean in more and hear more, or make you push your seat back and say, this was a total miss for me. So let's say you heard of something and you're thinking you're a little bit interested now. We've piqued your interest. So now you want to know, what does this actually look like? So that's three pathways. You can come in as an employee, work for a corporation. You can join the research and development department of a large beauty corporation like L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, or Black-owned brand like Fenty or Mielle. The pros to this, again, we talked about this when we talked about being a cosmetic NP. Steady income and benefits as an employee, access to advanced lab results, resources and equipment, collaboration with experienced chemists, exposure to a wide range of products and formulations. The cons, limited creative freedom, because you're going to be executing someone else's vision. Corporate politics and bureaucracy, your formulations belong to the company, not you. This is a great path if you want to learn from experienced chemists. You value stability and resources, and you're not ready to launch your own brand yet or not interested. Path number 2, the founder. You formulate your own products, you navigate manufacturing and distribution, and you build a brand from scratch. The pros here, complete creative freedom. You own your formulations and your brand, unlimited income potential, direct impact on your community. You also provide a pathway for others to come in and see their dreams become realized. The cons, same thing, high startup costs, R&D, manufacturing, packaging, marketing, long development cycles. This could be months or years before products are launched. And then there's the financial risk. This is a great opportunity for you if you have a clear vision for products that don't exist in the market. You're willing to invest some time and money up front, put your own skin in the game, and you want to build generational wealth through a brand. And then the consultant. You provide your expertise in formulation, ingredient sourcing, and regulatory compliance to smaller brands that can't afford a full-time chemist. The pros here is you get flexibility. You get to work with multiple clients, lower startup costs because you're not manufacturing the products yourself, and then you leverage your expertise without the burden of running a brand. The cons, income variability, depends on your client pipeline, and you don't own the products that you help create. This is a great path if you want to help multiple brands succeed. You prefer advising over execution, and you value flexibility and variety. So, which one is right for you? It depends on your goals, your risk tolerance, and your season of life. And remember, you can start as an employee, transition into consulting, and eventually launch your own brand. It's a progression, it's not a permanent decision. So let's talk about the practical steps. Education. So the traditional path is earning a bachelor's degree in chemistry, biology, or another related science. On average, this is about 4 years, and it can be anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000. Next, you will get a master's degree in cosmetic science. This is about 2 years long, and then another $30,000 to $60,000. Programs like the one that are we talking about? I'm going to be talking to you about, actually, lots of programs have this. I want to say Eunice Kofi Obeng, the founder of Newecki, went to FAMU. The University of Cincinnati has a master's in cosmetic science. Farley Dickinson University and the Society of Cosmetic Chemists, they have courses. As a nurse practitioner, you already have foundational science knowledge, anatomy, physiology, pharmacology. You already have clinical expertise. You already understand evidence-based training, how to read research and apply it. You don't need to start from scratch. Some other pathways, if you don't want to invest in a full degree program, consider those online certification courses in formulation. Self-study. So there's getting books, YouTube University, industry blogs. Those online certifications could be Formula Botanica. And I'm going to go over another one for you in an upcoming video. We're going to talk about one that Spelman offers. And I should have checked to see the deadline for that. If you want to know the deadline, let me know in the comments and I'll let you know. Hands-on experimentation, right? Start small, formulate for yourself and friends. Right here, I just learned in Texas, in Houston, there's a lady here who started her own lab. I can't wait to meet her. But just having those relationships and networking with people can help you move the needle a lot faster. And then, of course, mentorship. But remember, your nursing power is going to be your superpower here. And here's what you bring to the table that traditional chemists don't bring. This is before you count yourself out because you're thinking, oh, maybe you didn't like, maybe you didn't like, maybe you never took chemistry, maybe you didn't like biology, or you struggled through it and you're just thinking, where am I going to have the time for that? And that just seems like it's going to take me longer to get where I want to be. So think about this. Okay. You have your clinical insight. You already own that. You understand dermatologic conditions. You already understand patient centered thinking. You know how to listen to patient concerns and translate them into solutions. You have evidence-based mindset. You know how to evaluate research, not just follow trends. And you have our ethical foundation. You understand informed consent, truth in advertising, and patient safety. But don't overlook your clinical insight. Not only do you understand dermatologic conditions, you can formulate products that actually address them, both from the provider standpoint and from what patients are complaining about or experiencing. Now, crossover skills beyond formulation science, you need your business skills. That's that financial management, pricing strategy, profit margins, marketing. This is branding, storytelling, social media, regulatory knowledge. This is the FDA compliance, labeling requirements, international standards. If you are trying to get into this path and you have a little bit of time before you can get there, you can build slowly. You can start learning and building your thought leadership, have a blog, start a channel, and just share what you're learning while you're learning it. You'll be learning while you're learning and sharing. I have always learned the most by putting myself in a teaching position, and it will let you know if this is really what you think it's what you want to do, and expose you to other opportunities and ways you can add value. So starting today, remember, you don't need permission. You don't need to wait for the right time. Now is the right time. Pick one product you wish existed: a serum for hyperpigmentation, a sunscreen that doesn't leave white cast, a moisturizer for eczema-prone skin. Research the ingredient that would address that need. Study the science behind those ingredients. How do they work? What's the evidence? And start small. Mix a simple formula at home with proper safety precautions. Find a mentor in cosmetic chemistry is critical. Look for experienced chemists in the Society of Cosmetic Chemists, indie brand founders who are willing to share their journey and need the help, and online communities. And remember, mentorship is a two-way street. Offer value back, help with their social media, research, admin task, helping position them to get more credibility and visibility. Your clinical knowledge is your currency. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. If you could formulate one product that doesn't exist in the market right now, what would it be? What are you at home mixing yourself? What problem do you want to solve? Who would it help? Let's get creative. Let's fill those gaps in the market. That's what I love to do. Find those gaps and fill them and tell you how you can do it too. You don't need to be a chemist to be a cosmetic chemist. Your nursing background is the greatest asset you can bring. The most successful cosmetic chemists aren't just great at formulation. They understand patient needs, clinical efficacy, evidence-based practice, ethical product development. That's you, friend. Our friend Monique, she didn't have a chemistry degree when she started Mielle Organics. She was a nurse. She's still a nurse with a problem to solve. Madam C.J. Walker, she didn't go to MIT. She was a woman who saw a need and figured out how to meet it and help everyone else do the same thing. Remember, figure out how to master what you do and then teach everyone else how to do it. That's the real goal. You can do this. The market is $580 billion and it's continuing to grow every single day. Because there's a large portion of the population that's not even part of that number. So the opportunity is really immense. Black-owned brands are disrupting the industry. AI is leveraging the market, and consumers are demanding products formulated by people who actually understand their needs. This is our opportunity. Now, if this episode got you thinking and you're ready to explore cosmetic chemistry, here's what I want you to do next. Go back to the Mahogany Dermatology blog, check out our Beyond the Needle series. That's all you have to do is type in Beyond the Needle series, and you'll see where we break down the SWOT analysis so you can see the strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities as a cosmetic MP, cosmetic chemist, chemical engineer, and biomedical engineer. It's right there for you. The educational pathways, expected time to completion, and cost of investment in the continuing education. And if you're serious about building a brand or entering this field and you don't want to do it alone, You want to get rid of that imposter syndrome. You want to remove that decision fatigue. You don't want to feel overwhelmed. We welcome you to join the Alliance of Cosmetic Nurse Practitioners, which is our private community that's going to provide that weekly ongoing mentorship and coaching that's going to help you move things forward. It has been the being part of community has been, if there is a secret, that's the secret, is the farther you want to go, the more people you need to take with you. If you can't find what you're looking for, build your own table. And when you build that table, invite other people to bring their chair and provide a listening ear. That's all you have to do. The opportunities will present themselves. You just have to believe that you're in a position to solve their problem. So the link is in the description box. I want to thank you so much for being part of this series. Remember, you can let us know your questions and how we can best support you. That's what we do here. That's what we specialize in, is helping support you as you continue to see patients, as you continue to build your business and live the life you work so hard for. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and LinkedIn.